Listen, guys, this is what he doing.
Jeffrey, I feel like I used to hate that name so much, but now I'm understanding the name.
In order to truly understand the brand known to the world as Young Thug, we got to work backwards and really look at not only the evolution of Jeffrey, the star qualities of Young Thug, the rise of YSL, but we got to work backwards to where it all started.
I want to be who I really am. I'm really Jeffrey.
I'm Young Thug, aka Jeffery. I'm Jonesboro South. Born there, stayed there, still there. I'm 19. I like rapping. I like money too.
What was one of the first times you heard of Young Thug?
I would say, personally for me, I started paying attention in 2011. That's when he was featured on a mixtape by Rich Kids, a $100 autograph. And for many of us in Atlanta, that was our introduction to Young Thug. And then what we started to see was, that was also around the same time that the confidence started to match the work ethic. And then he took off.
Next thing you know, you're gonna hear about a $10, $15 million deal, man, Live. You're looking at it right now, you're looking at a $10, $15 million deal, man, in the future, you know what I'm saying?
At first glance, his come-up story is similar to a lot of other artists in Atlanta. You find a way to make it out of harsh conditions. You're handed nothing but hard times. Winning under those kind of circumstances gives you an extra layer of resiliency where you're prepared for anything life throws at you. What is it like to chase your dream in Atlanta? To start off with nothing, start off in Jonesboro South, start off in Zone 3, start off in Sylvan Hill with nothing.
It would be likened to the idea, or similar to the thought of walking in a store and buying a lottery ticket that hit the Mega Millions. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, in that case,
he didn't come from, a family that knew how to get him in front of people. Man, these kids were running the streets lost.
Another night of crime in an Atlanta public housing development.
My name is Tyrone Dennis. I'm a retired Atlanta police detective. There are 6 zones. Zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Zone 1 is your west side. Zone 2 is Buckhead, north end of the city. Zone 3 is towards the south. Zone 4 is southwest. Zone 5 is downtown, midtown, things like that. Zone 6 is East Atlanta. When you say you're from these different housing projects, it's almost like a stamp badge of I got it out the mud.
So Jonesboro South, Cleveland Avenue, especially during 80s, 90s. It's a black community, predominantly black community.
Jonesboro South, to this day, when you say that name, it still resonates with Atlanta because it means something and it represents something. Before it was demolished in 2009, it raised generations of Atlanta from the moment it was constructed in 1970 up until 2009. So there's a sense of nostalgia to it that even though it's gone, it still represents and reflects an era that was so important to this city and to the culture.
But at the same time, there's crime, it's high crime, a lot of drug dealing, just a lot of poverty over there.
I see people get shot.
Anybody can get hurt out here.
When you from Cleveland to Jonesboro Road, man, like Jonesboro South and where I'm from, like, if you really put your mind to something, no matter what, if it's some street, gonna get some money. I've been rocking with Thug before the music. Oh, I already knew that was gonna be big. I ain't know he was gonna be that big. He didn't have a talent at the time that was easily recognizable by the people who were in position. So he kinda had to work a Rubik's Cube to find himself in a position to not only where he could present his art to people, to where the people he was presenting to could actually understand the art he was presenting. And he really built an entire...
He was ahead of its time.
Completely ahead of it. It's still ahead of its time today.
I mean, I ain't gonna say it came overnight. I ain't gonna say I wanted to do it. I've been knew how to rap. A long time ago, I've been knew how to rap. Nobody didn't believe in me.
His voice was so distinctive. It was like, wow, this is like something that we've never heard before. So it was like a very interesting style of rap that we had never really heard before.
I met Thug through Pee Wee Longway.
Pee Wee Longway, someone he grew up with in Jonesboro South, ended up introducing Thug to Gucci in a recording studio. And that very moment really catapulted his career because it took that connection for everything else to make sense in his career.
So did you know he was going to be a star?
From that one I knew, you know. And then from that day on, Thug, that same day, Thug didn't leave the studio. He spent the night there.
It's like somebody put something in their body or something. He different.
But Young Thug was able to kind of just like put out songs and you know, especially in Atlanta, they became club hits.
They my people, that's my best friend, that's my best friend. Bless me.
We're creative people, we're hardworking people, and more importantly, we're people that have dealt with so many things that went against us, that we're built for this too. Yeah, when was the first time you felt like Gunna started to take off?
I mean, here in Atlanta, we've been paying attention to Gunna before he blew up. I was hosting a 2018 showcase for BMI. It was kind of like the Who Got Next in Atlanta. And I would even say that was around the same time that the YSL brand really became synonymous with Atlanta music and the record label took off. So for Gunna, it was important. For the label, it was important. And then the dynasty and the empire that Thug was building really went to another level.
Once he found himself in a position to offer, to reach back and pull people like Gunna, and through the vision, through the art and the execution of that art, a Young Thug, all of that was made possible. I don't really know anything about the other stuff that they're talking about because I haven't seen that.
In Atlanta today, we just learned minutes ago.
More charges against the rapper Young Thug.
He is one of 28 people named in a massive gang indictment.
I always use my music as a form of artistic expression, and now I see that black artists